Hey everybody, thank you for watching another episode or listening to another episode of the podcast Tell Me Your Story. This is your host, Chris Baker Jr., or you could say Coach C. And today's special guest to tell a little bit of his story, a little bit about his life. Shoot, he's right here with us. How about you tell him? What's your name?
Well, my name is Edward de la Paz, and I'm very welcome. Very, I would say, happy that you welcome me to your podcast, and I'm here to tell my story.
He's here to tell a story. And then, well, let's start from the very beginning. Where did you grow up? Where does your roots start? Where does it take place?
Well, man, I was born in the Dominican Republic. I'm a 1992 baby. Born and raised there, from humble beginnings. I come from a very um, quite a big family, from my mother's side, my father's side. Um, I lived there for around 20 years. I came here to the US when I was maybe 21, 20, but before that, I used to come, I would say every year to visit some friends and family members, but to the Midwest, in a specific, I came here back in 2014, kind of like 8 or 10 years ago.
Now tell me, when you came here to the States, how much of a culture shock was that for you?
Oh man, it was a deal changer. Caribbean people, or Latinos as a whole, we have some sort of same culture, when it comes to the language or when it comes to the food. But coming to the Midwest was a different um, environment for me, from the food, from the people, from the weather. And I remember that the first day that I got to Sandusky, uh, it was very shocking because, um, for us, from other, from people from all other countries, when we see America, we see you guys in the movies, and we think about Disney and we think about, the whole movie, scenario, the whole movie propaganda that they let the world know. But when I came here, it was like being in a movie set. Like I was remembering, watching, the buildings and the restaurants. I'm like, wow, this looks different in a good way. It wasn't
Yeah.
like something bad. It just that everything was different. It was mainly like I was in a amusement park, just coming to Sandusky and seeing everything else.
And just, I mean, okay, so do you guys get like trained it out when you first come to the States? Like, how does it work? What a lot of people don't want to know is so when you come here to the States, do you come with friends or do they just place you, in an area by yourself?
Well, in my case, is different. I went to college back home. I did languages. I went for mother languages, major in English and French. So when I came here, it was with a student visa. The Department of State, they have several programs, that allow students from all around the world to come to the United States in different visas programs. And in the one in particular that I came here was a J1 visa. Those are visas that are allowed for a specific amount of time. When you come to the States, you work in different fields, like in different companies, like restaurants, amusement parks, and then you work here for 3 months, and then once your visa is expired, then you go back home. So that was one of the visas that I came here with. I came with that visa for around 5 years, so I usually used to come to the States every year with that specific program.
So did you know when you first came here that you wanted to stay here?
Um, Not at first, at first I just wanted to come here so I can learn more about the US. I came here also because I wanted to improve my language, improve my English, skills. And by coming every year, I guess some sort of feeling grow on me. I started loving this country as if it was part of me. As if I was born here, because I was looking at how people treat each other here. I was looking about the system. I was looking about the quality of life, which is, which everyone knows that is a little bit better than other countries, but mainly because of the spirit that people have here, and I started loving this country. And I think that's when I start realizing that, hey, I want to stay here. I want to, be part of this great nation.
And that what you know, I've always thought to myself, because I see you guys all come from all over the world. I met many, many people from all over the world because of the program that we offer here. But I'm thinking to myself, out of all places in the United States, why Sandusky, Ohio?
That's a good question. Usually, a lot of people ask me that. I've been able to travel this country. I haven't been to the West Coast yet, but from Florida all the way to New York City or even to Maine, I've been in most of the states. I've been to Florida a few times. I've been to New York. I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Boston, just to mention a few of them. And man, there is something with Ohio that you guys don't realize. Ohio is, and 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 I wouldn't just say Ohio. I say the whole Midwest is the heart of the nation. You know,
Yeah, that's what
it's
Ohio is. It's the heart of
yeah,
America.
it actually is because people here are very different than other parts of the country. Southern people from Michigan, I mean from Georgia, from Mississippi or Alabama are different from people from the Midwest. I think the hospitality here is outstanding. Um, I think there's more knowledge or more understanding about other people from other countries. I think you guys are more used to seeing foreign people, especially in Sandusky,
Yep.
which is the town that we actually live in. And it's just amazing that you guys are so welcome to people like me, And of course, you might encounter certain situations, but as a whole, I feel welcome. I felt that people here received me with open arms, and that was one of the main reasons. Plus, the quality of life in Ohio is way better than other states. I always heard people saying, complaining about Ohio, that it's bad, but I mean, if you go to other states, I mean, just the rent in New York City, if you want to rent a one-bedroom apartment, you might pay like $3,000. In
Mhm.
Ohio, you still can get apartments for less than $1,000. Very good apartments in very good neighborhoods. So that was one of the things that I really wanted to have for me, having a place that I can call home, but at the same time that the quality of life reflects what the American dream is.
I'm glad that you touched on that too, man. It's because a lot of people don't realize that until they leave the state and go elsewhere. Because yeah, I know what you're saying. You get a lot of people that are like, I want to get out of Sandusky. I want to get out of Ohio. I want to go experience somewhere. I'm like, go ahead, but it's not going to be the same because you get so used to the comfortable living with the cost of living here being a lot lower than a lot of other places. Like you said, New York City, you try to get a small, even a studio apartment, maybe no bedrooms at all, just a studio, and you're gonna pay about 3 grand. As for here,
Easy.
something like that here, you're gonna pay probably maybe about five, about five.
Yeah, even about 5.5. And if you really want to get a very expensive, apartment, you can even pay $800 or even $1,000, or even the fact of buying a house. We have a way a better chance of getting a house here in Sandusky or in Ohio than in any other state.
Yeah, you can rent a house here for about $700, $800.
Yep.
You could have a
Yes.
whole house to yourself for $700, $800.
With that, you barely will make it in any other. Well, I mean, there are other states. I wouldn't really say that Ohio is the only one, but the ones that are the most famous one or popular ones,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah. We're
California
talking about
or New York.
California, New York, Florida, any of those fancier states.
Mhm.
Well, I wouldn't say it depends on where you're at too, because not everywhere in New York or California is going to be super expensive. But if you get to like, some certain areas, you can get a reasonable price, but you're not going to get under $1 grand wherever you're living.
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, not just where you're living, but the cost of, just groceries itself is a lot different.
It's a
Like
lot.
before they bumped everything up, you were able to actually go to a store and get like a month's worth of groceries for sometimes under $100, depending on what you're getting.
Yeah, well, now that you're mentioning that, I do remember that back in 2015 or back in 2016, I don't quite remember which one it was, but I went to Walmart here in 250. We went there, and I went like with $100 bill. Man, I got a full car full of groceries with $100, and I was amazing at how much food, and we still have money left. Even now with all the inflation that we're going on, if you use that $100 bill here compared to any other city, you will get your money worth. You will still get quite a lot of stuff. Of course, not like before, but you still get better, way more than all the other cities
Now, kind of
that you may
explain
go.
that a little bit more too. The fact that you were able to spend $100 and get a lot of food. I mean, and man, like since you're newer to the States and stuff, being new to America, like wow, how was that experience to you?
Um, it, it was very refreshing. Um, I always remember this, and I always reflect in the fact that sometimes people have to travel more. People have to see other countries because for me it was refreshing. It was good. I always knew that America has a better quality than other countries. But I never knew the extent of that. In other countries, it's kind of hard making the end meets. People have to work 3 or 4 jobs. They still have to do it here. But I feel that here is more about management. It's how people manage themselves. I feel that the system of this country is good, but at the same time, for some people, they cannot handle that because they don't have the knowledge or they don't have the skills on how to identify what things I should spend my money with. Which are my priorities? People here, their priorities are buying iPhones. I mean, I'm not saying it's everyone, but you know, buying the brandest newest car, or and then that's why their money every paycheck maybe won't be enough. I'm not saying that everyone has the same life. I'm just saying that compared to my experience in my country or in other countries, it's just different. Sometimes you work 3 or 5 jobs, and it won't really be enough. And that's believing the minimum. That's not having a car. That's not having certain things that you take for granted here. So for me, that experience of buying the groceries with $100, it was very, I mean, refreshing because I know, well, here you work and you can still save, and you won't have to downgrade your lifestyle that much. So for me, that was something very shocking.
What you touched like very important on. I hope everybody caught it. Is the management. If you can control how much you're spending and how much you're saving, that's very important.
It is. It is. I mean, you can still make 6 figures a year, but if you don't control how much money goes out, you still will be in trouble. You still will be in debt because some people, they think they need stuff, but in reality they're not. They're just really, you know, um, going with the flow. Going with how what the society dictates them to do, so they can feel worthy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I look at it too. Also, if you put it like this, is okay. Everybody wants to win $1 million. Everybody wants to win the jackpot, and then they want to have all this money. But I see it so many times. Like you don't even know how to spend $300. So if you were to win the jackpot, you would be broke in a week.
Yeah, pretty
I see
much.
a lot of
But
people like
yeah,
that.
yeah. But you know why? And this is something that I was very fortunate to. Even though I wasn't born in this country, I'm glad that I wasn't, for the simple fact that I know how is in the other side. I know how things are. So that makes me appreciate and takes care. I mean, of and also takes care of things here. In the fact of having financial education, having the ability of determining what things are important and what things are not. because, as you said, people may win the jackpot or people may win the Powerball, but the first things that they might do is they might start giving money away, or they might start, buying their friends cars or stuff, which is not wrong as long as you know how to do it. But people really don't have that type of education. They don't have that type of knowledge of how to handle money. What is investment, what is a passive, what is an active, like how those money works. When you don't have that type of knowledge, yeah, you can make a lot of money. Now, are you gonna be able to keep that money? That's the question.
Well, that's what I always ask everybody. You were to win the jackpot. What are you going to do with it? Right away, when you get that money, what are you going to do? What does everybody say? I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to pay off my mom's and dad's house, their cars. And the first thing I'm thinking, like, really, no, you want to manage that money because first you got to think, okay, you're not getting that whole check. Taxes are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So say you win about 2 million, you're only getting half of that. So there, mom and dad stuff. Okay, you do all that. Now you're down to a certain percentage. Now you only have maybe just under 1 million. That's still a lot, but it goes quick. A lot of people don't
Yeah,
realize that.
they don't
So you want to be
realize.
able to know how to manage it. Like you said, you're educated when it comes to spending money and knowing how to use it. I think that's really what a lot of people need to educate themselves on, is just being able to have that management and know how to do it correctly. That way, when it comes down to it, then they have all this money that they can use instead of constantly, like you said, working 2 to 3 jobs so they can get it. If you just manage your money, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that matters. And it's just very sad that I see people all the time here in this great country that are going through so much diversity and so much trouble. Because they didn't have the knowledge when they first started, when they first got their first job or their first paycheck. And of course, we are humans. Things happen. Sometimes you may be well, you can manage your money well, and something can happen. You can get sick, but that's the minimum. But in most of the cases, it's just wrong management. It's just wrong use of your money and wrong use of the debt, because you can still get in debt. But what kind of debt are you getting into? Are you getting into that because you want to start a business? Are you getting into that because you want to buy a brand new car? What kind of debt are you getting yourself into?
Yeah, what are you gonna get yourself into? A lot of
Yeah,
times, what people are like most in debt from, cars.
yeah,
Cars. You get the brand new car, or you get a used car, and chances are, I mean, if you like I said, you got to study everything you want to get involved into because everything about that car. So when you come across problems, you know how to fix them and you know where to go to get them fixed. Because a lot of times that's all it's about now is people want to make money. It doesn't matter where you're going to, the hospital, the car shop. Everybody wants to make a quick buck. And if they know that you don't know what you know, say you're just going to get your car fixed, it could be as simple as getting your oil changed. That could
true.
turn into just like what, about $50 just to get your oil changed, which you could, learn from YouTube
Yeah.
yourself, how
And
to do it yourself.
something, the knowledge is out there. YouTube has pretty much everything. Simple stuff like just oil change, as you just mentioned, is $50. So $50. Let's say you get 5 oil change throughout the year. Talking about $300 that you're saving every year. That can be used for something else.
Yeah.
Or painting your house, or pressure washing your house, or fixing the top. Whatever knowledge you can get that helps you down the road is gonna save you money, and the money can get used in things that you really matter to you.
And that's the thing is like a lot of people, I mean, just don't realize that you don't really need money to like, to acquire knowledge. Because that's the most important thing is like if you can get in there, get out, like we have so much access just at the source of our fingertips. Anything that you want to know is there. Anything you want to learn about is there.
But remember, I don't know who actually say this, but every great power brings or
Great
has a
responsibility.
great
Spider-Man.
responsibility. So we have the greatest knowledge of any regeneration in our humankind access to. Like we have, you see, just it's in our fingerprint. It's within seconds that we can get access to any knowledge. And I don't think that we use that with the best of our abilities. We don't really get advantage. We don't really get the most of that. And I also blame myself. Not only, I'm not saying it's other people, also me. We all will use the internet or those sources, for the best of our abilities.
I
And
don't think
that's something that
I don't think
you know.
anybody's ready for this next one. What I got for you is we are all creators. We come from God. I don't know where you stand at in your beliefs, but we all come from God. We're made in His like image, meaning that we have part of God inside of us. And if you think about it, everything that you look around in your room right now all came from here at one time. Everybody
Yes,
thought it up. It all came from here and became reality.
came from a thought. Yeah.
And now, if guys don't understand what I'm talking about, is that's what I'm saying is we're all creators. We all have this greatness inside of us that we can unleash to the world and create anything. Like for instance, this platform I'm on right now. We're talking about each other's lives.
Well, I mean, 70 years ago, we never thought to have something like this where you
And
can
this would yeah,
have
you talk
communication.
about just go back 10 years, 20 years ago. This wasn't even possible.
No, it
But
wasn't.
now it is. Back then, 10 years ago, we was on I think it's kind of
Well,
funny.
MySpace,
Yeah, we were
MySpace.
but yeah, that's what I was just about to say. We were on
Yeah,
MySpace creating our own pages, making our
yeah.
own websites. Now now if you were to ask anybody to do it, how
They
to
wouldn't do
create a website, they would have no idea. They're like, because Facebook dumbed you down.
it.
But what I'm saying is, everything that you want, like anything that you want to do in your life, whatever you like, the potential you see in yourself, whatever you're interested in, go after it. You can do it. You can accomplish it yourself. Get on there, get invested in it. And before you know it, you'll be making money just doing what you love.
But something, unfortunately, not everyone is made for that. Um, uh, I always believe in being yourself, being like your own boss, being your own leader in the financial aspect. But I found out that not everyone is ready for for that. They are not ready for what it takes. It takes dedication, it takes hard work, it takes knowledge. And not a lot of people are willing to. I have many friends, and I always ask them here from Ohio, from other states, and I will ask them, hey, for how long have you been working in the company that you are? They tell me, well, 10 years, 20 years, 15. And I always ask them, hey, how do you see yourself in the next 5 years, in the next 10? Do you see yourself maybe having your own business? Do you see yourself having your own ideas? And most of them, they are, something, I just feel fine here where I am. I have a good job, or I get paid this amount of money, and which is okay. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that, but you know, in order to get into the things that you really love, it requires a lot of brave. It requires a lot of you know determination. I know a lot of people have that. And for myself, I just see the good and the bad. Like, yes, you work in a company for so many years, but sometimes they don't have enough time for their families. Sometimes they don't. Even you do, something that allows you to handle your time. Allows you to be able to decide when you want to work, when you don't want to work, and still bringing money to the house, still bringing the bread for your house,
Well,
and that's something precious.
that's what I'm laughing about is because I'm just saying, like, really, this is what we've been touching on all along is management, money
Yep.
management, time management, all that stuff. If you can put that all into play, you're gonna be so much happier with your life. But if you
No, we
continue
do.
to follow by the old system that the world
We
is
do.
running on,
We
you're
do.
never
And,
gonna
and
be
you know
happy.
something? It's just sad, man. I don't really see myself working 20 years, 25 years. I know being able to just take a day off or just take a week off and say, hey, Let's go and take my family. Let's go for a nice vacation, or let's just do, or even just to spend time with the family. Because in this system, in this society, we are creating followers. We are not creating leaders, and not everyone wants to be a follower. Not everyone wants to be in the system. Where you even have to, even to get a day off, you have to struggle with your boss or with your job just for them to allow you to have one day off. Life is so short. The most valuable thing that we have is not money. It's not any material thing that we can get in this world. You are healthy today, but maybe you might not be healthy tomorrow, or you are not healthy tomorrow, but I mean now, or you might be healthy tomorrow. But the thing that we're never gonna get back is time. This year is never going to is not going to come back again. You know, 2020, 2022 is gone. Once 2023 is here, that's the present. So the time, that's what really cannot be replaced. That's the most valuable asset that we have. And people don't realize that every day that you lose is a day that you will never have in your life again. So appreciate
Love
what
it,
you have. Appreciate that time because you never know.
preach it now.
You
Preach.
never know. And that's something that I have always stick in my mind since I was a little boy, since I was a teenager or a young adult. It's just time. Follow your dreams, follow your goals, work hard. Do whatever it takes, doing the right things. I'm not saying like doing the right thing. This, with your hard work and with your work ethic. But just try to follow your dreams. Don't wait. You can start, with nothing, but try to, transition those thoughts, as you were saying before, into reality,
Yeah.
and then work in that and build up.
It's
And
really
it's
just
yeah.
it's simpler than people think. And like it says on your sign back there, dreams are possible.
They are. They are. They are. I mean, just look at me, man. I just purchased my house a few months ago. I got a truck, and I only been here, for a few years, and I've been blessed, and it's been hard. I've been away from my family for at least 5 6 years. I haven't seen my mom or my dad, and and I think it was worth it. I think that all of the sacrifices, all of the hard work paid off, and we are in a very tough time. Our gen, we are living in a time of desperation, of people telling us that we can do anything, that we can be this. Um, I feel that we are worthy. I feel that we can do it. It's just that we need to have the right mindset. We have to write that. We have to have the right way of things, and having a different perspective. And I think that with that little things, you can really do whatever you want to do. You can accomplish your dreams.
And that's really where it's at. Correcting your mindset, changing your mindset. A lot of you probably are watching right now, doubting everything that we're saying. Like it's not possible. No way it's that easy. But it is. You have to reverse the way you think. Instead of being so
And
negative towards everything, you're being negative towards everything, all your situation. You wake up immediately and you think to yourself, "Today is just here we go again, rough. It's gonna be one of those days where it's just gonna be a pain in the butt, man. But I gotta grind it out." Right there, those words, how you start your day, just from the moment you wake up, just saying that, you just controlled your whole day, and your whole day
yes,
is gonna be rough. It's gonna just play out that way.
yeah,
But
it's
like how it is in Genesis. He spoke it into existence.
yeah,
So if you speak negative, you're going to get negative. But if you speak positive, you're going to get positive. You think negative, you'll get negative. You get positive, you get positive. You follow what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, it's just uh, uh, it's just how you see things. It's just how you approach them. And something that really was powerful that you were saying is it's not easy. Who said that it was supposed to be easy? Who said that it's easy? If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
That's what it makes it special, you know? So never expect nothing for free or for granted. You have to earn it.
You have
You
to
have
work
to work
for
hard.
it.
You know,
Yeah, you're gonna have to work
I'm
for
not
it.
coming with you know, saying how everyone, no, not everyone can do it, but it's just determined for the ones that are absolutely wanted, the ones that the ones that have the hungriness, the ones that really wants to get it. You know, it's like a competition. Whoever wins, that's the one that wants it the most. You know, or that was the one that has us that fighting spirit. You know.
And like you said, hunger. You're you gotta have it, man. As if you want to succeed at stuff or whatever you're chasing after, you have to be willing to work for it
Yeah.
and continue to be hungry for it. Even when you accomplish that, you still have to keep going. You have to keep going, and that's the thing that sucks the most is you can never stop. You have to keep going because the moment you stop, you're going back.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's also having a life with purpose.
Mhm.
If you don't have a purpose in your life, then you will be like a ship without a destination. You need to have a destination. You need to put your engine at full speed where you want to go.
Man, we're really
You
preaching now.
know.
We're really preaching. But that's what I was saying at the beginning. We all have this potential inside of us, this greatness inside of us. We're all destined to do something amazing.
We
But
are.
I have to tell you this up front. You have to step out of being comfortable and become uncomfortable. It ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be tough, man. There's gonna be times where life's gonna try to beat you to your knees. But like Rocky Balboa said, you can either allow life to beat you to your knees or you keep taking hits and keep going. And that's really where it's all at, man. You gotta keep pushing, keep going, keep grinding it out, and literally grinding it out. And don't, if you get comfortable, don't ever become comfortable. You always want to be uncomfortable no matter what you're doing. Because then, what I'm saying by that, what I mean by that, is as long as you're uncomfortable, you're going to continue to grow. But the second you get comfortable, you're going to stay in the same spot. And you're eventually going to fall like the people that we're talking about earlier, where they're like, I need to get out of Ohio, I need to go elsewhere. But really, most of the time, your resources are all right there. The people you need to connect to, the right-minded people to get you where you need to be in life, are all right there
They are
around
there.
you.
It's true. It's totally true. But well, I just feel too that maybe it's out there, maybe it's in another state. But wherever you go, wherever you decide to go, just have the same mindset. Because sometimes maybe there's a very good example, which is that you're never a prophet in your own
No,
place. Sometimes you have to go abroad, like me. Like I have to go to another place to grow or to flourish. So maybe they feel the same. But wherever you go, whatever you are and whatever field you are doing, just have that mindset, have that positive, that positive attitude. That the determination, that purpose, and that will take you far. And as I said, everyone has different goals, and whatever goal is that, whatever dream you have, you just work for it. Everyone has different dreams, and I just hope that all of you guys that are listening to this, are able to fight for the things that you guys want, regardless of what it is.
I love that you're quoting scripture too. It's because, okay, Jesus did say that. He said, because he was always preaching the truth. He was always talking about the good stuff, man. But regardless, because he was in his hometown, I'm giving you a little bit of backstory about what he was talking in scripture.
Mhm.
As he was in his hometown, and every time he would do something good, he was casting out demons, bringing the paralyzed back, and letting them to walk. But the glory wasn't going to God because people kept looking at Jesus as the carpenter's son. Oh, that's Joseph's son. That's Mary's son. Every time he would preach about his real father, God, people were like, no, 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 you're Joseph and Mary's son. So, like he was saying, no prophet can become what he's meant to be in his own hometown. You do have to venture out. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to step out. And that's what I mean. Following your purpose, whatever you want to do in life, you know what you want. You feel it in here. You see it in your mind. This is what you want to do in life. Do it. Go after it. Quit allowing yourself to go into fear and doubt and saying, they're going to doubt me. People are not going to like me. Yes, that's the truth. That's how it's going to start at first. Yes, people are going to doubt you. They're going to say you're crazy. They're going to say all kinds of stuff. But continue to pursue after what you want. Do what you want. Do what you enjoy. Because once you accomplish your dream and start working on that dream and you want to travel, that dream's going to carry you to places. It's going to allow you to meet other people that are like minded like you. And you guys are just going to connect. And that dream is just going to blossom. It's going to grow. It's going to continue to take you places. And eventually, yes, you will get that, you'll get money with it too. But that's not the important part. It's just living your life to the fullest, man.
Yeah, man.
Truly just taking in what you're meant to do with your life. And everybody has it. For you that is watching right now that you feel like you don't know what it is, don't believe that anymore. You might have lost it when you were younger. You might have been told that, you're not good enough or you should stop and give up on that. I want you to go back to that right now. What'd you love doing when you was a kid? Maybe that's what you're meant to do with your life. Maybe that's where you're supposed to go with your life. Go back to it and really get into it, man. Study it. We're living in a time where you can get on YouTube. You can go to your library still. You can order any book that you want. And it's there. Just do it, man. And before you know it, you're going to be loving your life. You're going to
Man.
be enjoying every day. You're going to be waking up, stretching. You're going to be like, today is another day, another blessing. And then not only that, but you're just going to be a positive person. You're going to be speaking it all out to the people around you, building people up around you. And before you know it, you'll be giving speeches like how I am right now to other people.
Man.
Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I
No,
wrong?
you're not wrong. And you are a testament of that. You're doing the things that you love to do. And that's something amazing. And it is. It truly is.
That was the whole reason I created this platform. It's because I know I started off doing DoorDash. That's where we met.
Yeah.
And then on top of
I
that,
remember.
I come across so many people that were telling me their stories. And I was like, I'm hearing all these stories, man, but I don't have nothing to save them. They're only being locked in my memory. I need to share these stories to the world because, without a doubt, people need to hear them. People need to hear these stories. I mean, look at your story. You could have easily said, I'm going to stay into my homeland. I'm going to stay in my country. But you didn't. You took those steps. You got to where you needed with your education. Your education took you to the States. And could you say as a kid that you saw yourself coming to America?
No, never. Not
You
even in my
dreamed it.
wildest dreams. Yeah, dreaming. Yeah.
You dreamed it. And because you dreamed it and you worked towards it and kept going towards it, your education brought you here and you have met incredible people. And
Yeah, man, it's been a journey.
and how old are you?
I'm 30.
30 years old. And your story is only just beginning.
Yeah.
Think
It's
about
amazing.
that.
It
Think
is. It
about
is. It
that.
is. It's just beyond impossible. I guess it's just crazy, man. Um. Uh. I I do believe in things are meant to happen, but I start to also believe that God is in the plan. Whatever you do, or sometimes we don't see those ourselves doing something, but God has other plans. God has other you know destinies for you, and when He wants you to grow, He's gonna do that if you allow Him to do that. If you allow Him to use you as a tool you know of His mercy and His glory, and to bless others as well. um I always truly believe in helping others and being able to share the good news and to help and to share knowledge, and I think that that has allowed me to be blessed. That has allowed me to accomplish things that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm happy where I am right now. And I just keep asking him for guidance, and for his mercy to cover my family.
And that is such a very important thing to pray about. Is like so many people don't know what to pray about. But in truth, if you allow your heart to sink into it and really speak with your soul, what do you really want in life? And that's when you say, Lord, allow me to head into the right direction. Allow me to speak the right words at the right times, to have the right knowledge and wisdom, but most importantly, through you. And Lord, no matter where I go in my life, wherever you take me, continue to lead me every step of the way of the righteous path. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. That's one of my favorite prayers to do. I taught myself that one when I was younger. I would say
Mm.
that every day. But like you said, that's really where it's at. The more you speak to God and really just deep down and you just ask him just the basic stuff like that. Lord, just bless me with the right knowledge. Allow me to be the helping hand that some people need. Allow me to connect to the right-minded people to help me get where I need to be in life. Or help me connect somebody that can connect to somebody else. The most important note here is, I'm kind of stepping away from my preach real quick, is be willing to accept the uncomfortable. He had to do it, and now here he is in the States at 30 years old, at the beginning of his story. And you're seeing firsthand, look at him. He's got a clean cut. He's all
I
cleaned
try.
up.
Try. I have to be presentable for for your viewers, and show them the respect that they deserve.
And so, okay, we need to we'll stop preaching for a little bit. We'll get back into your story. So, with education and stuff, let's kind of step back before you came to the States.
Okay.
So, talk a little bit about your schooling and stuff, how that worked out for you. Did you know right away what you wanted to do with your life, or
Not really. Um, I do remember that maybe I was at like 7 or 8. I wanted to be a police officer, when I was a kid.
as most
I
of us
never
do?
didn't know the full extent of that, but I always used to see them in TV or talk about it, and that's something that kind of got me caught a little bit. But my first grade, if I think it's different than here. I think I was in preschool or something, like when I was 5 or something like that. Because my mom taught me a lot. My mom was a teacher. She retired a few years ago, and she home schooled me for a while. So when I got into school, I was like around 7 or 8 already. And then we have a system back home where you go to middle school for around 5 years, and then you go to high school for 4 years. For high school, yeah, for high school, yeah, for 4 years. So I studied in a private school for middle school. It was a pretty good experience. I don't quite remember a lot of that. I don't really have any friends from middle school that I can remember, maybe one or two. And then I went to high school. I studied in a public school, but that one was in front of the National Palace. That's more like the White House of my country type of this. That's where the president lives. That's where he commands the whole country. And the funny thing is that that high school is the name of that high school is the United States High
Really?
School. That's how it's called. Yeah, it's called United States High School. We have different public schools, and each one of them have different names, and the names are after countries. So we have like Colombia High School, or we have Canada High School, or Costa Rica High School. So this one in particular that I went to was the United States High School, which one of the best actually in back home. And I was there for 4 years. I made a lot of friends. I remember that my last year of high school, when I was maybe 17, I came to the US for the first time with my family for vacation. Then we came, I think it was in Christmas, it was in Christmas time. We went to Providence, Rhode Island. That was my first time here. I was
Rhode
17.
Island, huh?
Yeah, Providence, which I think Rhode Island is one of the first colonies of the states, if I'm not wrong. And we have a huge Dominican population in of Providence is Dominican. Is from Dominican, descent. His family is from the Dominican Republic. And then, yeah, it was good. I was here for a month with my parents, just visiting some family members here and some friends. And it was the first time seeing snow ever. I was very cold. I was never experienced something as cold as that day, the first day that we just got there. It was a very good experience. Then we flew back to the DR for I think January or something. We just there we just stood there for maybe a month or something, and then I was off from I finished high school, and then I took a time off from any studies for a year just to figure out what I want. And I started working. Got my first job for company called Corripio. That company they sell like TVs and radios and fridge and stuff like that. Like appliances, like home appliances and stuff.
Very big in
And
New
then,
York.
yeah,
They have a lot of places like that in New York.
yeah, they sell just stuff like that. And then I applied for college back home. Back home, college is free. You don't have to pay for it. So yeah,
Oh,
the state pays for it. Huh?
then if only we could have had that here.
Yeah, the state pays for that. And I was kind of like trying to go for maybe mechanics or something handyman, but then I was like, I don't feel that I'm that good at that. Let me try languages. And that's when I, apply or enroll myself for modern languages, major in English. There was two major in English and major in French. You still get some French, but your main major is English and your minor is French. So then, man, I started doing that. I knew a little English back then because my mom, she put me in some English classes for a year. So I got some basic knowledge. And then I got into college. I started, studying the language. I got to a few interchange with other countries. I got the opportunity. I think the embassy of Japan came to my school and they chose some of the students from the faculty and they chose me. So I was able to share with them and experience their culture, and the Japanese embassy pays for everything, and it was very good. So that was one of the first instances where I was able to practice my English and being able to share with other students from all the countries. And then a friend of mine told me, hey, there is a program from the U.S. Embassy which brings students from around the world. You just have to know, you do just have to have a basic level of English and be enrolled in school, have maybe around 12 credits, and be between 18 and 28. And I was like 20, 21. And said, well, let's go. And I applied. I told one of my cousins too from back home that he was also in school, and I told him, hey, let's just do this, uh, together so we can apply. Maybe we can, just do it. Um, so I apply. I submit all of the papers and documentations. I got my appointment in the embassy. I remember these type of programs are very expensive. So back 9 years ago, we pay like per person like $2,000. That was a lot of money. Back then, especially for another country. So I applied for that. My cousin applied too. We got approved. We got a student visa, and then it was summertime. It was May. We buy our flights, man. We were in a whole new journey, man. It was something new. It was some more like an adventure. 20-year-old kid and a 19-year-old kid, which was my cousin, and we were like, well, this is something new. We are in our own.
Well, hold on. Kind of telling me like what was the whole plane ride? What was it like coming here? Just were you just over like flowing with excitement?
Yeah, man, we were excited, man. It was the first time that we'd be away from home, away from parents, away from,
Yeah, you said
any.
you're 19 and 21,
I
and
was
you
21, he was 19.
and you guys are coming, getting away from the parents. going to a whole nother country.
Yeah,
Oh man, I could only imagine. And at that
man, that
at that
was
time, you're probably in that party stage still.
man. I'm telling you, I was something crazy. And then it was us and a group of other Dominicans. We were like a whole group traveling together. So it was like 15 of us going to the same place, which was Cedar Point in Ohio. And we traveled together. We ran a minivan. Like it was crazy, man. It just been for some for me it wasn't new because I already was here, but it wasn't the same because when you travel for vacation to see a family member, you stay in the family member house. But now I'm going by myself to another state, which is very different than the East Coast. Because in the East Coast, you see more Dominicans, you see more people from all the countries. Sandusky, Ohio wasn't. We was something unexpected. We never knew what we're gonna be doing there or the things that we were expecting there. And man, and then when we got to the airport, it was just man, it was a dream, man. It was we're here, we're gonna have a great summer. You know, we don't know anything, man. We're very young. At that moment, I was very immature, I guess. Like I didn't have a lot of experience. The U.S. is a very tricky country. Here, I do feel that things are a little easier than other part of the world, like in the sense of socializing. Like I never had a girlfriend before. I came here, I'm single, and then he's just like a booming, like boom, like this culture shock, and everyone thinks you're different. They speak different. You have a different accent, and they're saying, "Oh, where you're from?" And it was very. It's like you are like the main center of attention because you're different, you know. And man, I started meeting people from Ohio, from Turkey, because in the place that we stay, which you know that Zero Point is a major park for the ones that are not from the state. It's an amusement park, which is the biggest one roller coaster amusement park in the planet, and they bring students from all around the world. They have this place where they keep people there. When you live there, it's more like a campus. Like they have different buildings and you share rooms with other people. So imagine 3,000 people living together in a place, young adults, like between 18 to 20 something together. Man, that's something mind blowing. Like you share a bedroom with a guy from Kazakhstan, from a guy from Turkey, from a guy from Switzerland, from Spain, from Colombia, from Ecuador. And man, it's just a shock, man. It's just totally a shock that you get there, that you start speaking with them and you work with them, you live with them 24/7 because when you guys are working, when we are working, we're just working together. So we spend like crazy hours there, and then when you go home, you still see them at home because we live in the same place. So it was like a whole different level, man. I think the best years of my life were working in Singapore, man. Like if I could repeat that experience, I would do it in a heartbeat because it's like you're young, you don't have responsibilities, you just work. You just work, have fun in a good way, and then you have the chance of share your experience with other people that relate to you, same age, same mindset type of. But then you know about them, you know about their countries, and they tell you stories about their country, and then that's when you start to realize that we all humans are the same. We all have the same feelings. We all love. We all hate. We all type of way because we deep inside we are the same.
Yep.
It's just that
Boom.
we were born in different parts of the planet. If you were born in another country, you might speak another language, or you might have a different culture. Or if I was born here, like it's just a matter of where you're born. But at the same time, it allow you to have respect for them, allow you to understand their journeys, allow to understand their culture, and it changed your mindset. It changed your point of things, seeing the words, things how things handle. I'm not saying everything should be right or everything that they do is right. It's just that it's just different things. It's amazing, man. It's just crazy.
And like you said though, you hit it right on the head. Everybody is going after the same thing. We're all the same.
Yeah,
Nobody's different. Everybody's the same. Everybody's
it
going
is.
after the same thing.
It is. It is. And man, and just it's just amazing. And I do remember that I have um we well in my five because I worked in the park for 5 years. In those 5 years, I worked with many international students. I have friends from Spain, Shout out to my friend Cesar. He's from Spain. He's from I think he's from Barcelona. Don't kill me if that's not if you listen to this, but I think you're from Barcelona. Shout out to him. You know, and I met people from Ecuador, from Colombia. Man, I've been to Colombia twice. Great country, great people. My Colombian friends, I love you. Um, People from Taiwan, man, in Taiwan, and from Poland. My friend Lucas from Poland, man, and Agnieszka, and all of my friends from Poland. Just peace for you guys. It's just crazy, man. And I remember going on road trips with my friends. We went to Columbus, Ohio. It was a car full of two guys from Poland, me myself from the DR, another girl from Colombia, two girls from Taiwan, like crazy, just traveling through the U.S. And then there was another trip that we went to this park nearby Columbus. It's called Mohican River. I don't know if you know where it's at.
Mohican River.
Mohican River, yeah, where you camp and stuff. We were in 4 cars. There were like 20 people going there from Spain, from Colombia, from
Wait,
Ecuador, from the
wait, so when
U.S.
you guys were in Columbus, did you guys get to
Yeah,
check out Hocking Hills?
yeah, we were there. We were in Hopkins Hills. We were to live because it's kind of like a group of parks. It's Hopkins Hills. Is another one. Is all Man's Cave. We
Yep, Old
went there
Man's Cave down
too.
there.
Amazing, man. I want to go again so bad. Like I was back in 2017. I want to go there again. I mean, amazing.
Did you guys go
And
kayaking down there at all?
kayaking, no.
Yeah,
Well,
they got.
no in Hopkins Hills, but we kayak in Mohican River.
See,
They.
out there in Hocking Hills, they have a river,
I
and
didn't know that.
there's a bus that takes you actually out,
Really?
and I think it's like 3 miles that you're just
That's
kayaking.
not the Mohican River thing because they do the same thing. You pay for two type of trips. They have one is 14 miles and one is 7 miles, and
Yeah, the
then
bus
you pay
takes
the
you out.
ticket. Yeah, they take you out and then they pick you up at the end.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's related, but that's how they do it in Mohican River.
No, yeah, it's probably the same way, same thing. You
Maybe the
go out
same.
7 miles.
Man, and we had a blast, man. That was such an amazing trip, man. And we camped, we made some barbecue and some hot dogs.
Wait, wait. So
And
when you were in, okay, when you seen the Mohican River, did you get to see the castle too? Did you get the chance to go to
maybe I
the castle?
did, maybe I did, maybe I don't. I don't quite remember. So we were just making a blast. They were just talking and screaming and having fun. So I don't remember, to be honest.
There's a
But I
lot of
haven't
stuff, man.
experienced everything yet. And something that's why I want to have that freedom of having my own job. And I also want to take this little time just to tell your viewers that you know in whether ones are from Sandusky or these areas like Vermilion, Norwalk, Lorraine,
Go ahead.
is that
That's what
next
this
year?
class. That's what this platform is all about, man. Getting your stuff
Yeah,
out there.
next year we are launching a new business. I'm going to start my pressure washing business. This is going to be called Edward Pressure Washing Solutions LLC. So if you guys need your houses to be pressure washed, your sidings, your walls, your driveway, I'm the man for you guys. So it would be a bless if you guys can, promote and can support me in this new journey. And that's something that I want also to guys let you know that I'm here for the community as well. That is something that I always been ambitioning and dreaming. That's something that also will allow me to have more freedom to also, be able to do the stuff that I love to do. But that's something that I also wanted to share with your viewers, and hopefully you can support me with
Without a doubt, I know they will.
that. But man, keeping with the story, yes, we just had a fun. We just got a blaster, and um, then I think they have a specific space there where you can go and set up your tent and you can do a fire pit and you can
Oh yeah.
cook. It is very nice. So if any one of you guys haven't been to Mohican River, I encourage you guys to go there. It's very good. It's a family environment place. Very good.
So let's know there's somebody out here. They like that. They like to hear about the romance stuff. So let's kind
Ooh.
of let's dig into it because somebody's gonna kick my butt if I don't talk about it.
Mm.
Talk about your. You said you never had a girlfriend, so talk about your first romance here.
Wow, man, you're gonna kill me if I say this.
For
um,
her privacy, or his privacy, let's not say any names.
well, my, oh man, it was crazy. Let me actually tell you something. So, first day, first day that I got here, when you go to the main office, they sign you up for your room. They give you your room key. Your room is 705. Go outside or whatever. And of
Wait,
course we
so
got
you were at the Commons, right?
a comment. Yes,
You stayed at Cedar Point Commons,
zero
and
point comment.
uh, those are kind of like being in a jail cell, right? Your dorm is like
Man,
this little closet
we
deal.
call them the concentration camps. That's how we call them. Concentration camps. That the Germany with the Jewish. Sorry for my Jewish people, but that's just. um, the first day we go there, they sign you up, they give you a room. Then every building has a common area where you can chill out and you can talk to your people. You can sit down there. I remember there were two girls sitting down there, man. Me and my friend are just coming through the building with our suitcases. I don't know if they were from Detroit or they were from Michigan or from Ohio. I know they were Americans for sure. And they were like, "Hey, boys," and I was like, just look at them, and then they were like, "Do you guys have a girlfriend?" Like these girls does not know us at all. And the first thing that they introduced them to, like, "Do you guys have a girlfriend or something?" And I'm like, "No." "Well, hi, how are you?" And then one of them says, "Okay, perfect, because we are your girlfriends now, and you guys don't know that." And I'm like,
What?
wow, that escalated very fast. So that thing, just like that's how American.
It was just like,
That's
bam, you
boo,
need a
like
girlfriend, you
like
got one.
girls here, they like a guy, they will go for it. That's something that I like about here too. Just they like, well, no, every girl, but man, perfect. And then the happened, we went to our rooms, and a few days after that, there is a nice bar next door.
Louis.
It's called Louis, and that's where all of the internationals and all of the people go in summertime. And a friend of mine, a Dominican friend that came with us in the trip, she introduced me to another person, and that person, I will omit her name, but the person was trying to dance with me or something, and I was kind of confused because my dating game wasn't very good, to be honest. And she was like, "Yeah, you look good," or "I like your accent," or something. And I'm like, "Wow." And then that was my first relation type of romance in the U.S.
One
the
thing led
first time.
to another.
Uh, I will say that in my 5 years of working in Zero Point, I had a few, romance. Like I was single, young, and I guess that's a time where you have to experience, how things that you like, things that you don't like. But definitely, the place to know people and to meet people is your point. I have friends that got married with people from all around the world. I have one friend that got married with a girl from Russia. I know the guy got married with a girl from Europe, from Poland or from Colombia or from Ecuador. Like literally, you live there and you make a bond, and yeah, I also, the best thing that Zero Point can offer is the experience. Besides work, besides the money, it's just that it allows you to find love. It allows you to find friendship for life. It allows you to experience things that you never knew before that you had,
And that's,
for
I
sure.
mean, you're hitting on, you're selling Cedar Point, man. So,
I am.
so
Even
if
though they
anybody
don't really
works at Cedar
appreciate
Point,
me,
anybody
they
want to
should
go
hire
work
me
for
to be.
CP?
They should hire me to be the international manager. I'm sure, but I'm kidding. That's it.
You should start advertising for them, do commercials. Cedar Point
Welcome
is the best place to ever work. There you can find love and have friendships that last forever.
forever. Come and work for us.
Come work for Cedar Point.
Ah,
But that is true though, because that was actually my first job. Cedar Point, I worked there. I started when I was 13, and then when
man,
I
you
turned
were one of those
14,
minors, huh?
I was a young guy, man. So
Mm.
you get my taste of, like you said, you get to meet people from all over the world. And I met so many people from all over the world there. And yeah, that is the greatest experience too. The friendships, I have friends from all over. and then just love. You can meet summer romance is what I would call it because they pack up and they have to go back home, and you
Yeah, that's actually the worst part of working at a certain point. It's just that everything is so good. You live in this bubble, and you think it's gonna last forever. And then once September comes, boom, all the cries, people crying.
I
I
know, I
remember,
know.
man. I dropped my little cries. I dropped my
See,
man, it was hard seeing that person that you like going away. You might not see that person again in your life because that's another thing too. Like that place
that's
get people every year.
well, that's what I was just thinking too. I was like, I wish they would do like a show about it because you get like I was saying, is you get like the real world, you got Jersey Shore and all that stuff. You ever heard of that, right?
Hmm.
If they were to do something like that for Cedar Point,
It'll be
you,
crazy.
you get people from all over. I mean, because it would pretty much be like the same idea, same plot. You get people, four strangers, seven strangers that don't know each other, and all of a sudden they're living with each other. Now imagine if they did that with the Cedar Point edition. You get people from Russia, Brazil, Colombia, all over the place,
All over the
China,
place.
and everybody's bunking together. Nobody knows each other, and then it would be an interesting show to be honest. And then once it plays out, once everybody becomes friends, buddy buddy, then all of a sudden you're at this bar called Louis. That is,
Man, Louis
if
is
nobody's
crazy,
ever
man.
been there, it's always jam packed, especially when Cedar Point is open. That place
Especially
is
in City Point.
packed.
City Point is the heart of this town. Is the heart of this town. It is the main engine of that runs this city. So if it wasn't for Cedar Point, man, it would be another Mansfield.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Cedar Point, like people don't realize that Cedar Point has brings in a lot of business. But I would say I've seen Kalahari start bringing in a lot of people.
Kalahari actually brought a lot of people this year. I see people from very old, very
Okay,
country.
let me step into my experience. As a lifelong Sandusky native, I would say Cedar Point, yes, Cedar Point was the main attraction at one time. And before, like, we got all these different water parks, Grave Lodge, Kalahari.
Be
Um,
careful what you say. Cedar
it
Point is
was,
another one.
it was, come after me. It was, it was Castaway Bay was our main water park.
Hmm.
Then Grave Lodge, which was actually Great Bear Lodge, moved here, and that started attracting more people during the winter time. Then, a little couple years later, Kalahari moved in, and where they placed it at, they became the world's biggest water park, and they were able to grow it out. And then I don't know if they still hold that title, but at one time
I
they
think
did.
I think they are the second biggest indoor.
Yeah, at one time they were the biggest. I don't know, yeah, like not anymore,
I think
but
it's why. Oh, sorry. In Texas, there is still. I think that's the one. That is the biggest one, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, Kalahari is one of the biggest one,
and
or is the
then
biggest.
outside of the water parks alone, you talk about 250. I've seen that grow. That used to be the main attraction on 250 before all those restaurants and all the clothing stores, everything that you can possibly think of before Chick-fil-A, all that good stuff. It was just the mall. It was just the mall. And where Target was actually a Kmart. And that was it. The rest was all just grass and trees.
So, do you think that in the next 20 years, Sandusky will be a major city?
At the rate it's growing and the people that are in charge of it, yes. It's a very good possibility that it could be. But as a person from the town, I will
You
tell
don't like
you it's very divided when it comes to that. Because people want to keep it's
simple.
like what I mean by that is people want to, the younger people want it to grow and become a more like city, environment. As for the other older people that live here, it's kind of the opposite, where they want to keep it. Well, I just want to live here. Because at one time, Sandusky, all it was known was like for back in the days, it was just factory work. That's all everybody came up here for was the jobs, just to work in the warehouses, the factories. But now there's just so many countless opportunities here that it
Which is
just
good.
continues to
Which
grow
is
each and every
good.
year.
which is good. I just wish that with that growth, we can keep the quality of life that Sanduskyans have in the sense of parking, and hopefully that doesn't bring more crime. We don't want more crime in the city. We want people that come with a peacefulness, with a peaceful mentality, people that have values, and because it's a great city, and Sandusky is a small town. Well, not that type of small now, but it's a town that everyone knows each other. This is a town that everyone knows each other pretty much, and there is that feel of camaraderie and that feel of brotherhood. And I hope that that can keep going that way, and that we can protect our city, you know, um, and that we can, along with that growth that we all need for jobs and opportunities, but as well that we can keep those green areas, that we can keep those historic buildings, and show the world what Sandusky really is.
And Sandusky, yes, it is a very great place. Very great place. At one
I
time,
wouldn't change this place for any other city in Ohio, to be honest.
no, like you
No
said though, like
Cleveland or Toledo. Nah.
everybody knows each other. Everybody is. It's the only place that you could pretty much go to and just connect with anybody and just have a one-on-one conversation with somebody and not be judged. And people will just be straightforward with you and just talk to you. I've like at all the places I've traveled in the United States, in the world, this is the only place I know that you can actually do that, where you can just go up to a complete stranger, never known it your whole life, but talk to them and just in a few minutes you'll feel like you've known that person your entire life.
Yeah.
That's
And
enough
just
for you.
and even the relationship with the companies around here, the businesses, the owners, the people, like it's always, that type of environment, and that's something that I wish that we can keep. Now, I will lie to you, the weather is rough here, for everyone.
That was actually going to be one question for
Actually,
you.
this past weekend was rough, man. This whole near blizzard conditions were crazy. I pray for the families that were affected and for the victims as well. Pray for them. Um, it's just rough. If you're not ready for cold weather and very high wind chills, and cold wind chills, like just this is not a place for you. But aside from that, it's a great place.
And if anybody's wondering what he's talking about exactly, we just got hit with a winter blast. Meaning, for you guys that are used to living in the cold, we went from a day that was 50 degrees, and then the following day it was -5,
Literally.
with a wind chill of -35. I'm not complaining because I know living here, that's what it's about. But being that you're probably from the warmer countries, so kind of give us a taste of what it was like with your first winter here.
Um, my first full winter was 3 years ago. I think 2 years ago. Man, it wasn't as bad as I thought. At that moment I was living in an apartment, and the apartment complex, they clean your driveway, and you don't have to do that. Um, I remember that I didn't have a car back there, so I had to go to work using the bus service. That was rough. I had to
Yeah,
walk with all that snow to my knees.
that bus is
Man,
never.
like I had like 7 coats in my body, like literally like 7 layers of coats in my body. With a whole, all my face was. I was like the ninja, the black ninja or something like that, man. But it wasn't as bad. I mean, it's cold. I won't lie to you. I don't like the cold, but It's nothing that you cannot survive. You can survive it. You just have to get used to it. To be honest, I'm a bit. I'm more like a fall person. I like fall. I mean, the weather is great. It's not cold. It's not hot. Also, you people may think that because I'm from a hot weather environment, I like that. I mean, nah, I don't like being hot either way. It's sticky. You sweat a lot. You know, nah. Like I like in between. I like my 50s. My 55s. That's
Those are
fine
the
for me.
perfect days, man.
That's a perfect day for me. But like too hot, too cold, nah, that's not for me. But now if you ask me which one I wish to be, either hot or cold, If I have to like extreme hot or extreme cold, then that's a tough one.
I'll take the hot.
I will say, damn man, I would say the hot because you can do stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'm
You,
going with the hot
yeah, you can do
because
stuff. You just have to get in your car and get the AC and that's it. But
yeah,
when it's
I mean that it just
cold,
makes it a lot better. There's so much more to do too.
yeah, it is more stuff to do. Like you can do a lot of outside activities. Like you can be in the pool, just splashing water to people, and go like to a river or Mohica River, for example, and do stuff outside. But when it's cold, when it's full of snow,
You ain't doing
it
nothing.
kind of looks like a dead town.
You're
It's
done.
like nobody is there, nobody is in the streets, like, and that's something that I also got time for me to get used to it. Like back home, you see people walking in the street all the time. People don't have a lot of cars there, or they have cars, but most people they don't have cars. People you see people walking in the street, you see kids playing, and here you don't see that. Mainly people have cars, they drive everywhere. Even in summertime, people drive a lot. They don't really walk at all. And that's something that I'm trying to, because I have two cars, but sometimes I try to walk. Sometimes I just leave my car in my house and I take the bus because I don't want to lose the ability of just walk, man, and just take the bus and be a normal person and sweat and see all because driving and using the bus is a different mentality. It's a different thing. You can see the city in a full perspective and the people
Well,
that live in the city.
that's what I was gonna touch on too. That's what I like about when it's hot or when it's just okay. Is this that ability just to walk everywhere?
Yeah.
Because kind of stepping into the spiritual reality again, is you can really get to take in the world, everything or your surroundings all around you. But if you ever notice when you're in a car, you're kind of just you're focused all the time. You're locked in. You're not really getting the chance to. I wouldn't say that for everybody, but if you're the driver, a lot of times, and especially when it gets like this, you have to stay focused. You got to be cautious because you never know somebody might randomly, like especially since we just got out of the holidays, people like to jump and get all over the
Yeah,
place.
man. I was driving to Bellevue the other day. Man, people were driving crazy,
Like,
and it was like 2 days before the holidays, like literally. Like people, I don't know if they started drinking or something, but
no,
yeah,
it's the holidays. People tend to get crazy, especially in the
yeah, they
wintertime
do. Like,
too.
and that's funny. That's not the end of the world. It's just one day of the year. Like you can do that every day of the year, but you have to get crazy and no, come on. It's just unresponsible.
I don't even get me started on that conversation. People,
That's for another day, right?
oh man, just like how we were saying, just this past weekend, I'll tap into it a little bit right here. This past weekend, because people heard about this blizzard, this storm coming in. What did we do? We all run to the store, grabbing everything that we can. For what? For 2 days. And now it's gonna be this week after this big old snowstorm. It's gonna be back in the 50s again. And that's Ohio weather for you too.
That's crazy too. Yeah, gonna be hot. That's crazy. Like from going to have your car frozen in the cold, have ice on it. Now all of the ice is gonna melt, and you can literally wash your car outside with a garden hose and wash your whole entire car. Nothing will happen.
Okay. And then also I'd like to tap into if you have really bad allergies, this is not the place for you. Because like we just said, what we just hopped on, it goes from hot. We don't have spring here, so
No,
it
literally.
goes it
That
goes.
that that's something that I really found out this year. We don't have a spring.
We
The
don't
spring
have
is supposed
spring.
to hit in April, right? Like April, May, right?
Yep, we don't
Man,
have
that's
spring
even
here.
like in the tens. That's like 10 or in the
It
eights.
will be
Really,
cold or it's gonna be hot. We'll have maybe 2 days of spring, but that's about it.
man. And spring is my favorite part of the year, man. It's my favorite season of the year. Spring is beautiful.
And like I said, it will go cold. Like right now, we're in the cold time, and we'll be cold until probably about maybe April. Then it will start to turn up a little bit. We'll start getting back into the 70s. But after that, it just starts to get into the summer. And then with the fall weather, he says he doesn't like the hot. But the fall really around here, it's hot.
It's hot. And
It's
then in
humid.
between all of that, we have the seven plagues of Egypt. We have the mayflies. We have The whole little animals coming in and storming your house.
Oh
The
yeah, you get
bugs.
more. The mayflies or the June bugs, whatever you want to call them. If you ever go to Kelly's Island and see them coming to the island, that is something like you would see, like you read about in the Old Testament. When they're flying in, when it's the storm of the flies or whatever you want to call it, man. I've been over there to witness it when I was at Kelly's Island, and you thought it was raining, but nope, it was the mayflies coming in, and they were just
Crazy.
landing everywhere. So if you're ever on the islands, I suggest not to be over there.
That's
Like,
something. That's something for sure that I have to do. I've never been to the islands yet.
don't go there like at the last month of the last week of May, because when them mayflies are coming in, man, like I said, it's like some Old Testament stuff. They're just coming in like a storm. They're swarming. They're landing all over your golf cart. It's the next day if you're not in the storm, you're gonna come outside and they're gonna be all over your house, all over your door, your car. It's something else, man. But other than that, I love them things because they're not well, they're not harmful. But I'll give you a little secret. People like to make soup out of them.
Well, good luck with that.
People people like to make
Out.
soup. People.
No way. I know seagulls tend to eat them, but nope, 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 nope.
Oh, and then the seagulls. Yes,
Yeah, the mean seagulls.
they
The
are
seagulls
mean.
are
They
the
have taken my
Grinch.
hat. They have took.
Mm.
When I was working at Cedar Point, actually, I was going to catch the bus to get back over the bridge. And as I was coming down, I didn't see one of their babies was on the ground. And little did I know, here comes Mama. Takes my hat right off my hat. It takes it right off my head. I mean, my hat's taking off with my hat. I'm like, oh shoot, lands right on the roof. So I have to go to wardrobe the next day to get a new hat.
Crazy man. I see some crazy things with seagulls. I remember one time that a seagull just stole chicken fingers from a baby's hand and then poop on the baby's face.
Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
mean.
They're mean. They're literally mean animals. To be honest, they're the dogs of the skies. They're even worse than that, I think.
I call them the jump birds. They keep the
Yeah.
streets clean. Wow, man, I can't believe we've been on here this long. Actually,
We actually, it's been a while. It's been a very glad conversation, very nice conversation with you.
yes, it's truly an honor. And I'm humbled to have you on. Actually, I think we
Thank you.
covered a lot of stuff. To be
We
honest,
did actually, we did.
we covered a lot. I hope everybody got a lot of information out of this show, this podcast. Also, for the ones that are watching right now or listening, this platform is for everyone. Everyone. So if you'd like to come on sometime and tell your story, or even just talk about anything like how we did today, feel free to contact me. Other than that, as we wrap this thing up, let's ask some random questions to each other. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, the first time that you saw me, what was your thought of me? The first time that we say hi to each other, that we introduce our names and everything, what was your thought to me? Because I had a thought about you because I knew that you were coming in a daily basis to the restaurant most of the time, and I was like, oh, that guy seems very nice. That was the first thing that really struck me. You always have this positive mindset. I always saying hi. I always been having a good
Or
aura, like a good energy around yourself.
so when I first saw you, I saw this guy and I thought, what a douchebag. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, I mean I don't really see. I don't judge nobody. I thought like to be honest, I was like, man, once this guy learns the greatness inside of him, he's gonna do amazing things. And I say that about everybody I come encounter with and I talk to. I'm just like, once he taps into that greatness that he knows that he has inside of him and truly starts working towards it, he's gonna do amazing things. But a lot of people don't think I'm thinking like that.
Thank you, man. Really
Yep.
appreciate it.
And what you were talking about earlier, yes, you are gonna be the best Pressure washer.
That's the plan. That's the plan. It's just following, the things that we want to do, and it's always a battle between. It's like me versus me. It's not about anyone else. It's not about being better than others or feeling better than others. It's always about being the best version of yourself. That's what matters. Being the best human being that you can be and be the best person that you can be.
All right. So
Sometimes
what
we
you
get into focus of looking into others' life and others' success, but it's not about them. It's about you. Focus on you. Don't focus on them. Just try to be the best version of yourself.
man, I feel like we should be on like a self-help book or something, man. Just write a whole book about it.
We should.
Um, so when you first saw me, what were you thinking?
I was like, this guy has a very good attitude because I saw you a few times before we start talking, and you always came with a very good mindset, with a laugh, with being always trying to get a conversation, and that showed me that you have a very good personality. You always were up front, like you always were, having a good uh, aurora around you. Like you pretty much seemed that you were coming from another field. Like I don't know if you were like a salesman person before, or if you were, working with people, customer service, but you got that type of, and that's very rare here. Usually, people when you talk to them here, or some Americans, they're very quiet. They don't really
So,
show a lot of emotions, or sometimes they don't even talk to people. They don't give them the chance. But you always took the first step, and I really like that about you.
I'm gonna start crying.
Don't cry, don't cry.
All right, my question. Out of all the places you've been in the world or the United States, what would you say is your favorite place?
Whoo, man. Um, oh, la, yeah, yeah. You know that I always got this with friends and even brothers from the DR. Um, I would have to say Sandusky, man. It's my favorite city. It's my favorite place to be. For the simple fact that it changed my life. It made me who I am today, in part. Like I think it's 50% of what I am right now, and the other percentages are different things from my childhood, my family, and everything. But this place allowed me to be who I am, allow me to experience so many stuff. I love America. I love the United States more than people may know. I always have issues with people from my country saying, "Oh, you are a sellout," or "You talk too much about America," or like "You are not American." Like they usually tend to say that, like like you are very like you're Dominican. Always remember that. I'm saying, yeah, I was born in Dominican Republic, and I love my country. Don't take me wrong, but I love this country too, even the same or even a little bit more because it allowed me to be myself. It allowed me to accomplish the things that I think that it wasn't able to accomplish back home. And I'm not saying that you are not allowed to do that in your hometown or the place that you were born in. But for me, my experience, with the tools that I had, it allowed me to accomplish the things that I'm doing right now. And I found love here. I found friends. I found a place that don't judge people. Because do you think people judge you here in this country? No, they don't judge you like they judge in all the countries. And I always would be welcome. I always would be humble and be you know um, grateful for the chance of being here. So that's what I say. That Sandusky, in specific, and the country has allowed me to be who I am now. In second place, my home country, in the sense of who I am, like my essence. I mean, what I come from. Of course, my hometown, Santo Domingo, which is the capital of my country. And in third place, I will put Colombia. I was married before, and I got divorced a few years ago, and I've been to Colombia like 2 times. Man, great country, great people. Colombian people are one of the most educated people that I know. They're known in the Hispanic world to be the best Spanish speakers, in the sense of in the clarity of their Spanish that they use, like the quality. They are very educated people, and I would say Colombia is, I think, it keeps a place in my heart. But yeah, those are the three places that I really like the most.
Very well said. All right. Second question.
Second question: what country would you like to visit? I know that you've been in a few countries. I think that you say that. But what country will also, keeps you in mind, or like what country really you love the most, or a country that you see that you or what? Okay, what country would you see yourself living besides the U.S.? That would be the question.
Where could I see myself living? Hmm. For me, the best way I can answer this question is I like to see them all. I couldn't see myself living in just one country. If it came down to it and I had that opportunity, I'd probably backpack. I'd probably be just going all over the place from
That's a
country to
nice one.
country to country. If I had that, if that was my option, my choice, that's exactly what I'd do. And I'm a people person, as you said in your last question. You could see it. I love meeting new people. I love getting to just know everything about you from your roots, where you started off, where you're at, where you're headed. And if I can help you along the way, so be it. But I love meeting new people because at the end of the day, I realized something a long time ago. It was like you said earlier, we're all alike.
Yeah,
Everybody's the same. And really, to me, I see God in all of us.
amen, amen.
Mic drop.
Well said, well said.
That's the best way I could answer that question. Yeah, but I'd love to see every country.
Yeah,
Every
that
country.
actually will be very nice to be able to travel and experience different cultures. I think that a lot of people does that, especially from Europe. They get their backpacks and they just travel, or Europe, or America, or South America, or Africa, or Asia. Yeah,
I think really truly too. I mean, not just going country to country, but if you're watching this too and you don't really know what you want to do with your life, I would say, you know, if you get the chance, just travel. Just go out of town, go out of state, and just truly embrace, what this country's about, and really take it all in because it will open you up more. The more people you get to connect with, the more people you talk to, the more things you see and places you go. It's just you really just become grateful for everything. It connects you. It sounds weird, but it does. In a way, you just become just more open-minded to every possibility, just everybody you come in contact with, and just your love and appreciation for everything just begins to just go
brother.
more. And before you know it, like you just find yourself every day. I find myself all the time just being just grateful for it all, man. Just be able to see it, hear it, taste it, smell it, walk in it, all that great stuff, man. And so, exactly what I said. If you get the chance and you don't know what you really want to do in your life yet, and you're just fresh out of high school, you're not sure if college is the way you want to go, then get out there and try. Go out and adventure, man. Find out who you really are. Don't allow somebody to control your thoughts for you. Do it yourself. Get out there and just find out what you want in life. That's the most important thing. That's all I got for
Yeah,
that one.
nice.
I don't want to get too deep. All right, next question for you.
Next question. Wow, I'm
Yeah, I
running
got
out
it.
of
No,
questions.
it's my turn. My question for you.
Yeah.
How often do you work out?
Not a lot, to be honest. I'm trying to get into shape because I have a few pounds, and I wish to drop at least 50 pounds. That's my goal. So I'm starting to getting into rhythm, but I don't really work a lot, to be honest. But I
Is it because you
that's
don't have?
that's my goal for next year. Hmm?
No, is it because you don't have enough time or what?
I may find the time. It's just that I'm lazy when it comes to working out. I need to have motivation.
See, I'm not just the podcast host anymore. I'm actually the fitness coach as well. You heard me have to say it at
I
the
don't know.
beginning of the
See, you
program.
can be my fitness person.
I'm Coach C. I always post, sometimes like just 15, 20-minute workouts and just basic stuff. Just push ups, sit ups, curls, just using dumbbells, medicine balls, and just how quickly you can just get fit just from your own home. If you're not comfortable and you don't feel like paying for no membership because, like you said, you can't stick with it. Because that's what a lot of people do around this time of the year. They're like, yep, come next year, I'm getting fit, man. I'm going to start working out. You
Mm-mm.
sign up for this membership, and how often do you use that membership?
You lose that money.
You lose it. So, what I'm trying to say is just watch my channel. I do it 15, 20 minutes every day, and I just show you some basic, simple stuff that you will get results from. You will lose weight from. That's it. And it's for free. Unless you want to pay me or something, but it's all free.
I might have it in mind. Who knows?
Cash at me, whatever. Like, man, your results are really helping me. All right, final question. Go ahead.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh man, healthy stuff. My favorite food, man. I That's tough because for me, I like to say I like to experience it. Like I like to taste everything, new stuff. A lot of people would say I like Mexican food or Italian food or stuff like that, but to me, I like just trying new dishes, just trying something new. Because eventually, I mean, if you're getting the same style, and that's the greatest thing about this country is you get to taste every different kind of culture in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, no, I just like to try new dishes. I love cooking myself and just coming up with stuff and making up my own stuff. I've become a real fan of buffalo, and I started
Mm.
like just mixing that with everything. Just the other day, I took some like basic like mac and cheese, and I put a little bit of buffalo in it, mixed it together, some queso with it too. Oh, that was amazing. You won't
I'm
find that in
not
the
very
restaurant.
big into sauces or anything like that, but I like more like meats and stuff and salads. That's more me and bread. That's it. I'm a very simple eater, I guess.
Yeah, you see,
I like Chinese food. Chinese food is good. I
I
like
think
it.
I think food also depends. Like you would kind of go with like because you're trying to lose weight, so
Mm-hmm.
it depends on where you're at too in that journey.
True.
If you're trying to lose weight, then you're gonna like a certain stuff. Like you're gonna like salads, you're gonna some simple stuff, sandwiches. But if you're a food eater and that's your addiction, and if anybody's watching right now and you have an addiction
Mm-hmm.
to food, just please stop. Stop binging. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. You're stepping on that scale and you're about what 370. You don't want to be 500 pounds. Food is good, yeah, it's great, but there's a
For
point
your
where you
health
have
is
to say
better.
stop.
Yeah.
You have to say no. You have to stop. You can't eat out your cabinets, man. Stop. You know who I'm talking to. That's you watching right now. Stop eating. Really, to be honest with you, for the one that is watching that is a binge eater, it's okay to get help. If it is your addiction, consider getting help. So you don't want to be you don't want to leave this world early because of an addiction for food. Not just food. If you have alcohol addiction, I mean, get help. Get help.
Hmm.
Because like I said, you have greatness inside of you. You have a purpose. You don't want to leave early because of it. Stop. Stop while you can. And with that, I'd like to say thank you once again for coming on this show,
You're welcome.
telling us your beautiful story from the very beginning to your experiences at Cedar Point, what's going on in your life right now, career wise, and what you're going to do in the future. And I'd like to definitely see you blossom, man. Definitely see you grow in
Thank you,
this
man.
next year to come. Your business, too, I'm definitely going to probably see you're on the billboards and stuff because you're
That's
pretty
the
good
goal.
with advertising.
That's the goal. And thank you very much. Thank you for your viewers for allowing me. Uh, thank you and your viewers for allowing me to be in this great podcast and to be able to share, my story with you guys. And also, I pray for you. I also pray for your business, for your new idea of, creating this platform for people from all around the world to share, their memories, their stories, and I hope and I pray that your ideas and your goals and dreams are, success, and that you keep doing what you're doing, which is bringing hope and blessing for others people.
Yeah. Now, if anybody wants to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
Well, they can reach me through Facebook. My name is Edward de la Paz. You guys can reach me through that, or you guys just can also add me on Instagram as well. With my first name is also Edward de la Paz. Those are, I would say, the easiest two ways to reach me. And for the business, we're developing a way of communication. We are not yet there. We're trying to get an email and a website, but once that is ready, I for sure will share that with you, so you can share that with your viewers as well.
Yeah, now, once you do that, I'll put a link in this little video that we're doing. But other than
Awesome.
that, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Chris,
Edward.
Edward,
Bye
and we're out of here. Peace.
bye, guys. Thank